I know there's some people who read 25 or 30 books a year or whatever. Guys, you don't have to do, you can read one book a year if that's what you want. I was journaling and I was like, how many books have I read this year? And honestly, because of everything going on mentally, I actually surprised myself. I think I read a few more than I thought. I think fiction is very important for the brain. Our brain is a muscle. You don't use it, you lose it. I'm gonna start with the books that I have reread and then a couple of the books that I read for the first time this year. So reread To Kill a Mockingbird. This is an American classic. I think I read this in school for the very first time, but honestly, an awesome thing about having ADHD is I forget plots. I forget so much. And after I've read so many books, I can just read them again. I completely forgot what happens. I think I could probably read it at the end of the year again. I love having ADHD sometimes, you know. Second book I reread, with everything going on with books and not the literal burning of them, but the destruction of them and the banning of them. This was a great read. Another reread was A Brave New World, with everything going on right now. Very dystopian. I have so many notes in here. Such a good book. Please don't skip this one. Things I read for the first time this year. The Basic Kafka. Kafka, oh my gosh. This is a compilation of short stories. I have so much in common with this guy. It's so weird. I love Kafka. The ones I loved the best was The Metamorphosis. Oh my gosh. I loved A Hunger Artist, The Burrow, A Little Fable. Please read A Little Fable. The Country Doctor. I loved Before the Law. The Tiger was so good. Kafka is a genius, and I don't believe he said to burn these things. He said that when he died, he wanted his friend to burn them, and his friend actually finished and published them. And I thank you so much for doing that. Homegoing. Homegoing was this has been one of the best books I've ever read. If you are a Black American, if you are African, honestly, this book is for anybody. This was recommended to me by a Black Studies professor. This was actually one of the books we had to read in class, but very easily one of the best books I've ever read. Please read this. This is this is a level of genius that's just read it. The Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl by Harriet Jacobs. This was also recommended to me by a professor. Actually, I was taking a Africana Studies class, Black Studies, and I ended up dropping the class, but I ended up just reading the book this year anyway. It is so good, and it's haunting actually, and I think people should read it to know what it was like. This was the experience of an enslaved person. This is it's crazy, but it's really good. Toni Morrison, The Bluest Eye. I picked this up and I couldn't put it down. I read it in 2 days. Toni Morrison is an absolute genius. There were a few books that I cracked open, but I didn't exactly finish. This one, I think this had 2 stories that I didn't finish. It's A Good Man is Hard to Find by Flannery O'Connor. I love Southern Gothic literature. It's probably my favorite genre of literature. It's so good. Flannery O'Connor has some of the best Southern Gothic literature. I cracked this open 2 days ago. I got 1 chapter in. It's a dystopian novel called Anthem by Ayn Rand. It's pretty good, and I'm only in the first chapter. I don't know if I'm the only person, but I read kind of a few books at a time sometimes. I will crack something open and decide that I'm not in the mood after a day or 2 of reading it, and I'll read something else. I don't know if I'm the only person that does that. Beloved was one of those books. I picked this up right after I put down The Bluest Eye. I got to page 79, and then I decided to pick up Anthem for whatever reason. The Best Short Stories of Fyodor Dostoevsky. Fyodor Dostoevsky. Y'all, don't judge me on how I'm pronouncing this. I love his writing. I only got into the story White Nights. It's super good. I just hate that. I don't know if anybody else gets this feeling when you're almost done with a story, you stop reading it. It's almost you don't want to finish it because it's so good. White Nights was one of them stories. I got to the 3rd night and I'm nervous, and I'm nervous to finish reading. So those are the stories that I read this year. Obviously, I read the Bible every single day. I love reading. There's a few more on my list. I'll probably get maybe 2 or 3 done by the end of the year. But yeah, amazing books. And if you have any recommendations or things that you think I would like, please leave them in the comments.